with a heavy heart that I learned today of the passing of the great American Oscar-winning filmmaker William Friedkin at the age of 87. My first exposure to William Friedkin might not be the most traditional. I was roughly around the age of 10, and my mother adored cinema. And we watched a lot of movies I shouldn't have watched, but they were always heavily discussed. And my first film by William Friedkin was the film Cruising. Now, Cruising was a very controversial film for very obvious reasons. It looked at a part of the homosexual community in New York that was a subculture. It was very controversial in the fact that you had one element of the community despising the film, not wanting it made, but the leather kink community in New York that were homosexual championed the film. Now, yet again, remember, I saw that at the age of 10. No matter how much you loved William Friedkin, or love William Friedkin, you have to let it be known that he was a curmudgeon, he was outspoken, and he had an ego the size of a Sherman tank. But if you look at his films, he was really good. He's an unsung hero of the new wave American film movement in the 1970s. At one point I had a person in my life look at me and ask, how can you feel really bad and sorrow and about somebody you don't know, about a musician or a director or an actor? And that's because music and film speak to us, especially film. Film helps us deal with our own inner feelings, our own turmoils. And also, it is a great way to make friends. Music, film, art. It is also with a heavy heart that today I remember the late, great filmmaker who unfortunately was not able to make it to his potential greatness, Eric Christopher Myers. One of my closest friends when I was a teenager. We even made really crappy movies together. He adored William Friedkin's The Exorcist. And so today, I definitely am thinking a great deal about Eric, and I hope, no matter what you believe, that somewhere that William Peter Blatty, Eric Christopher Myers, and William Friedkin are sitting at a bar, drinking whiskey, and screaming at each other because they have so many different opinions on the source material that is The Exorcist. Now, Friedkin was also known for films like The French Connection, but I'm going to give you a few recommendations of how to go a little deeper into William Friedkin. The first is obvious. The great commentarian and film reviewer Kat Ellinger posted on Facebook today, "Thank you for the glorious trauma." The Exorcist is potentially the scariest film made of all time. And as you get older, different things are quite scary. Reagan puking up bile and heads falling off in stairs. When you're older, the scenes in which Reagan is going for all these horrible medical tests, it's shocking and it is traumatic. So number one, if you haven't already, definitely check out The Exorcist. My second recommendation is William Friedkin's remake of the Clouseau legendary film, the French thriller Wages of Fear. This could also possibly be the best remake in American history of a foreign property. It's a fun, tense, visceral ride into almost total insanity of what people who have nothing to lose will do to get their freedom, or at least make a little money. My third recommendation comes back to my initial introduction to the late William Friedkin, and that's Cruising with Al Pacino. This is not for everybody, let me tell you right off the bat, but it is controversial, groundbreaking, and also Friedkin works with the idea of identity in this film, that you have to watch it multiple times until you even figure it out. And the ending, whatever you think, is what that ending is. and I'll leave it at that. So, yet again, I have to bring up my friend Eric. I miss you. I love you. Hopefully, you now are getting a chance to hang with William, and hopefully he's not too much of an asshole. And we greatly miss you, William. We'll always remember William Friedkin, and we'll always have his films.